I prefer Dos Equis.
What's going on YouTube? It's your boy Snickerhead Pat coming to you with another review. Actually, this is going to be more of a rant. The reason it's going to be a rant is because I started to do a Throwback Thursday review, but then I realized I had so much negative to say about this cop. So what I'm going to be talking about today is the Yeezy Boost 350 Turtle Dove colorway. So I copped these on release day, which was July of 2015. So I was fortunate enough to win a raffle on these. I won the raffle at DTLR in Charlotte, North Carolina. So definitely lucked up on the cop, and it is a dope shoe, dope colorway. There's a lot of things I like about them, but there's just so much negative that comes with them. First off, this is a dope shoe. I do like it. There's a lot of things I do like about the shoe. You know, I like the pattern. I like the stitching, you know, that goes up the middle. I like the suede side panel on them. I like the pull tab on them. You know, I definitely like the shoestrings. That's real dope to me. You know, the Boost technology. And it is a comfortable shoe. It's a real comfortable shoe, but not $1,000 comfortable. It's not $1,500 comfortable. You know, it's not $1,500 dope. You know, and I was lucky enough to get these for retail, but the amount of money people are paying for these is just insane to me. They don't live up to the hype, if you ask me. Like I said, I do like the shoe and all, but they don't live up to the hype. The amount of money that people are paying for these, it's just not worth it in my opinion. You know, and you know, people try to, you know, stuff down your throat that it's real comfortable. It's comfortable. It's just not $1,000 comfortable. These days, it seems like people are obsessed with hype and limited stuff. I don't get it. I don't really buy into hype, which sounds funny since I'm sitting here holding one of the hypest shoes. Yo, put Ye on the phone. But getting these for retail made me realize that I would never pay resale for these. You know, in the future, I'd never pay resale for these shoes or a shoe like this. I've learned to know that it's just not worth it to me. I copped them for $200, which was retail, and if you ask me how much they're worth the $200 that I paid for them. You know, one of my biggest issues with this shoe is the fact that Kanye gave us a painted sole. So this sole, the paint wears off with every wear. Not only does the paint come off with everywhere, but the traction wears down. Of course, not on mine because I've only worn mine once, but other people's pairs that I've seen, not only is the paint coming off, but this actual traction wears down with excessive wear. So my thing with that is, if Jordan gave you a painted sole, and I say Jordan because people give Jordan brand hell on quality. If Jordan brand gave you a painted sole, you would not let that fly. Nobody would let that fly. And you can see closely that how mine, you know, is starting to come off the bottom with one wear. People wouldn't let that fly. But it's crazy to me that people seem to ignore the fact and pay these crazy amounts for this shoe, knowing that the sole practically disintegrates with wear. And maybe it's because I'm not really into runners. I'm a bigger fan of Jordans. I'm a bigger fan of basketball shoes in general. Adidas is pushing out a lot of nice runners, but at the end of the day, I'm just not really into runners like that. I do like this shoe. I definitely wanted it for my collection, but it's as far as the hype, I just don't get it. I don't know why people buy into it. And the crazy amounts people are paying, it's just not worth it to me. For some reason, people seem to be obsessed with hype and limited stuff. Me, I'll take GRs any day. I'm the GR king over here. I'll buy GRs any day. And people are so obsessed with what heat is. I mean, heat is whatever you make it. And if you're a sneakerhead, I feel like you should be in it for the long run. And if you are, if you keep your GRs and you hold on to them and take care of them for a long time, a lot of them actually will eventually become heat, I mean, I take some Legend Blue 4s. Nobody considers them heat because everybody has them. But 4 or 5 years down the line, people will very likely consider those heat. There's new sneakerheads that come into the game every year, and they tend to seek that older stuff that they missed out on. Every year there's kids that get their first job, or they gain an interest in shoes and they're able to afford them with their first job, and they seek those older shoes because they remember their older brother wearing them, or the older kids at school having them. So a lot of those GRs that people don't consider heat because everybody has them, a lot of them actually do become heat one day. And a lot of stuff that's actually hyped today, like a lot of ones and stuff that people do consider heat, a lot of that stuff actually sat when it first released. So definitely keep that in mind. But these not having a backstory and just I like the Moon Man sole on them. I like a lot of stuff, but they just don't hold any weight for me. Like, I would take this shoe, I would take these over these any day. And I mean, and not just because it has a backstory and because they're more significant to the game. I just feel like it just looks better visually. Like, this is a doper shoe, You can't tell me this is not doper than this. Like, come on, man. Come on, bruh. You can't tell me that. And I mean, and when Tinker Hatfield was designing these shoes, there's a lot of stuff that he put on these shoes that, were first for shoes in general. Shoes didn't have, at the time, shoes didn't have the netting. They didn't have the wings that these have, the air bubbles, the icy bottoms, the crazy tongues he was putting on, most of his designs. A lot of this stuff was first for shoes in general. And that's why they changed the game. And that's why they'll always be significant in the sneaker game. Let alone having a backstory, from one of the greatest players of all time. So, in my opinion, this holds a lot more weight. And a lot of other GRs, period, hold a lot more weight. I mean, in my opinion, you can't tell me this doesn't look better than these. And that's just my opinion. I'll take some Aqua 8s any day. But, I did cop them. I did like them. It's so much negative that goes with them, I feel like. I feel like the hype is crazy because, because they are crazy limited. I feel like the day that Kanye produces 1 million of these is the day that they will sit on shelves. A lot of people are crying about, Kanye promised that everybody will get a pair. But I think people don't realize when he does make enough for everybody to get a pair, you're not gonna want them. A lot of people will not want them, and a lot of people don't even realize it's the hype that takes over your brain. Like, for real. Like, I feel like there's a good chance that these will end up being trade bait for me. Just because the crazy amount people are willing to pay for these, it makes it hard for me to enjoy them. It makes it hard for me to wear them, knowing that there's some fool somewhere that'll pay, a crazy amount for them. It's hard for me it's flat out just hard for me to enjoy them. So, one day when I miss out on the shoe, I may give these up. And not only will I get the shoe that I want, I'll most likely get 3 or 4 more pair in the process. Because people are willing to trade like 4 or 5 shoes just because they're so thirsty for these. Which is crazy to me, but hey, I'm not, even though I don't buy in the hype, I have no problem with taking advantage of it. So, that's kind of where I stand with that. But yeah, let me know your opinions on this shoe in the comments. Let me know if you cop. Let me know if you would pay crazy resale for the shoe. Let me know if you think this is a dope shoe. I'm curious to hear other people's opinions about it. That's just my take on it. And there's a ton of fakes. I could spot a fake a mile away. And, I've studied this shoe. I've studied like every inch of this shoe. So, And Jordans too. I can always spot a fake a mile away. I see a pair of turtle doves maybe like once a month. You know, when I go out. And 99% of the time, they're always fake. There's definitely a lot more fakes than there are legit pairs out there. So keep that in mind if you do want to cop. There's a ton of fakes out there, so be careful when it comes to that, because there is a lot of fakes. If you don't know what to look for, I would stay away from it altogether, to be honest, because I see fakes too much when it comes to these. But yeah, that's my opinion on them. Let me know what you think in the comment section. Definitely comment, like, and hit that subscribe if you're new to the channel. I appreciate you all rocking with me, and I will see you next video. Peace.